Hello, people of the world. Are you feeling good? Okay. It's like May 1st, 2016, obviously. I hit level 20 in the Gears of War 4 beta last night, so I figured, why not talk about Gears of War? So, Gears of War 4 is essentially what Gears of War 3 was, and a little more. It's like a more polished version of Gears 3. Now, I never played Gears of War Judgment, so I don't. From what I understand, it was way different than Gears of War 3. So, I have no comparison for those two. But if you've played Gears 3, you've played Gears 4. It's just more polished and more optimized for the Xbox One. Runs at full 60 frames. It's beautiful looking. The graphics for the beta, I hope this is not the final build, man, because the graphics, they just seemed very muddy and like textureless almost. The detail in the textures didn't really pop out very well. But the gameplay, man, it felt just like Gears of War. The hammer burst was extremely underpowered. I mean, that's to be expected. It's the beta. So, but the Lancer felt good, the shotgun felt good, the power weapons felt good. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I could really say that they could tweak a little bit are to me, a couple of the things that it felt delayed almost. I don't think it's my internet connection. It felt like it could be honest, like game lag, if you will. You know, I throw a grenade and enemy was, I would say, out of the distance of the explosion from killing them, but it would still blow them up. Same thing with me. They'd throw a grenade. I'd try to run out of there, and on my screen, it looked like I was out of there, but then I'd blow up still. A couple shotgun kills just didn't make any sense to me, you know. It just seemed a little laggy. Like, if they polished it slightly more, it could probably be fixed. I don't know if that's... It could be my internet connection for all I know, but, I mean, I have a pretty good internet speed, so... I think because the game actually allows you to connect to the closer servers. It said for me, North America East was, I think, 30 ping. Yeah, I think it was like 30 ping or something. That's pretty low for a ping. So, I'm pretty sure it was just the game. There's that. Also, the maps, they seem pretty good. They felt very Gears of War, so. The thing that I don't like about these games that are centered around the multiplayer, like the sequels, I should say, when you have a game that's on the market for a year to 3 years, usually people get very comfortable with those maps, and it's almost like it happened first to me with Halo. The first time I played Halo, I was like, what? The first time I played Halo 3, I should say, I was devastated that I couldn't play the older maps. I was like, well, what the fuck, you know? You've only included Zanzibar and like Valhalla or whatever. Or not Valhalla. I guess Zanzibar was really the only... Was that the only map? I don't know. I remember seeing... Oh, fuck. Only a couple maps that were like brought back from the old games. And I thought that was always really dumb. But with Gears, I feel like they bring back way too many maps, almost. Like, I feel like in Gears 2 and 3, there was a lot of original maps. I don't know. I'm pretty sure there was a bunch of maps they brought back, but I don't know. Now that I'm older, I don't really care as much. But I guess my point is these maps felt pretty good, and if these maps continue to be like this, I won't have a complaint. What I'm interested in is, if you guys haven't heard, Gears 4 will have a it's sort of like a loot system almost. Basically, I don't know how it's gonna work in the full game, but in this beta, you get these little cards that give you either weapon skins, or they give you, they're called bounties. They're little stakes that you can put onto your match. So like, let's say I use my hunter bounty card. Now what the hunter bounty card does is, if I kill 7 people in this match that I'm going into, I'll get a 50% experience boost, that's a pretty significant bonus, man. I mean, you know, if I get 2,000 experience points, now I'm going to get 3,000. So So like that's a pretty cool like tweak to you know, standard multiplayer. Now a lot of games have been doing that. I can't think of many off the top of my head, but the first that comes to my mind always is Halo 5, just because they did a similar thing. You know, you get these cards that give you weapon skins, they give you character skins. What I'm curious about is, I don't know if they've announced Horde mode, but if they do announce a Horde mode, are they going to do weapons that have modified bonuses that you can take into the match? Because like in Halo 5, I remember going into what's that playlist? The playlist where you fight AI and you fight other players. Warzone, what's it called? I remember going into a bunch of matches like that with like a super needler. So like this needler would have like double ammo, or like I'd have a battle rifle that had like a different scope or something. Like there was like one-time use cards that they would give you like better weapons and stuff, which was really cool. Needless to say, though, I'm excited for Gears 5, or Gears 4, I should say. I don't want them to do what they did with Gears 1, 2, and 3, which was they're like, all right, let's use the same engine for all 3 games. Let's not really add too much. Like I think they added quite a bit from going from Gears 1 to Gears 3, but they didn't add nearly enough. Like going from Halo 1 to Halo 3, that was significant. So I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping that Gears 4 does not disappoint me. The next Gears trilogy or whatever. Halo 5 didn't disappoint me. It's just, to me, it's so hard to get into these games now, just because there's so many fucking games out. There's too many games out, and there's too many things doing the same things. Like, to me, Halo to me hasn't been properly executed since Halo 3. Reach, they didn't even have a fucking ranking system in that game, I don't think. Halo 4? I don't remember a single thing from that game, to be honest. I always think of one level in the single player, that's about it. I remember there was the Didac. He was like the main bad guy, I believe. I bought the Halo 4 Xbox 360, so like I've got blue controllers, which is really cool. That's basically all I remember about Halo 4. I got like a Photos armor set or something like that. That's pretty cool. But no, those games to me just, there's no lasting appeal anymore. That could be a sign of old age. Like, I could be getting pretty old. And maybe that's what all of this shit is. Maybe it's all mental, just like, oh yeah, I love this thing, blah, 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 blah. And then it's like, my mind is set with like 16-year-old logic. Maybe that's my problem. Because the thing is, I grew up with like the best of the best. I grew up with the best Xbox Live games. I grew up with the best PC games, you know. I grew up with a lot of the best of the best. So it's like I still expect the best of the best. And it just sucks because I expect more of the goodness. Like I expect like improvements also. But I'm not getting much of those. I don't know. It's crazy rainy out right now, but I'm gonna get out of here. Frazzlog is over. I'm eating Twizzlers. I love water. Goodbye.